All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are on this beautiful planet. Welcome to the Inner Circle Live pre-New York session. I'm your host for this morning's session, Benny Allen, and I'm definitely happy and grateful for each and every one of you being here with me this morning as we take a look at the technicals and what is going to be a huge fundamental day as we have the CPI coming up. And we want to see what we can take advantage of as a result in the Forex market. So let's make sure that we turn off any and all distractions. Grab a pen and paper, take lots and lots of notes, and let's make sure that we participate and engage. So if everybody can hear me, I know you all are just logging on now, but if you can hear me loud and clear, drop me a 1 in the chat and we can get this morning session off and running. Appreciate it. All right. Let me make sure that everybody has control of their microphone. And let's get this thing started, right? It's going to be a light one this morning as, hey, the market is pretty much at a standstill because what we've been talking about all week, we've got the huge CPI report coming out today. And we could possibly see, right, for the core, some of the articles that I was reading late last night, we could possibly see a negative print on the CPI month over month for the first time since like 2020. So we'll see if that comes through. But we are holding off all trades, right, until we know exactly what comes about in regards to the CPI print that is due out at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's going to be a very, very important report. And so what they're going to do is you're going to have that overall print. You're going to have the core come out, and then they are going to start dissecting, right? Which is why we don't really like to trade right at the time of fundamental data comes out, especially major reports like this, because they're going to go to town on this report. They're going to look at that overall number, and then they're going to start breaking it down by sector, right? They're going to look at the housing sector. They're going to look at food and energy costs. They're going to look at everything to see where headline inflation is really, where it's really staying sticky, where it's really decreasing, and where it may be, possibly have a slight increase. So they're gonna break that down. We know in the past, right, we've looked at, you've got wage growth, right, where we continue to have a tight jobs market, but then also the housing market, where we had rental rates going through the roof for the most part. Now, some of the other reports that I'm reading is saying that we are definitely seeing a decline in rental prices, but when you look at the CPI and you look at rental price and housing data, hey, it's lagging. It's really, really lagging. So we may start to see some of those effects, but probably, March and April, you'll really start to see that come in that overall CPI number where you see the effects of that because it is lagging. So we will see how they break down and dissect this thing. Of course, there are going to be several articles that come out as results. The pundits are going to be commenting all day on this report, right? If you listen to Bloomberg Radio or any other type of business channel that you may be listening to, but this is going to be the story of the day. So it is very, very important. Any questions in regards to the CPI and what's going on today? Nope. Yep, we are clear. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a quick look at the markets to see what's happened overnight. So if we click over and we see where we are with the dollar right now, we see ahead of CPI data, we've broken that level, right? So you can see the weekly decline is moving down on the dollar, continued weakness, right, on the US dollar. And you can see we are creeping below that level, but we've been here before, right? You can just look back, right? A couple of days, we've been at this level before, then we got a little bit of a rebound back up above that level. So we'll see what happens once we get the data to come out this morning. And just a little while, not too far away, about 2 hours away. So this is where we are here. Here's a 4-hour level at 12,790. And let's see if it holds or we continue to move south. All right. So look for some volatility today there. Any questions on the US dollar? No, we're good. All right. So let's see if we get continued declines on the dollar. If we go over and let's take a look at, I think I still have it on here. Yep. So if you ever want to um, look at on Smart Trader, your your individual currency. So we have the DX, right? And that's the dollar index. But if you ever want to take a look at the currencies, right? So here we have the CAD index and the Swiss index and the Euro index. Okay. So you can kind of see, so this is your CAD pegged against, right, your other major currencies. Just like with the DXY, you have the dollar pegged against your other major currencies. So you can see here on your CAD index. So what you'll do is you'll type in the currency, CAD for CAD, and then you'll type in the X, right? And that's going to give you the individual index to that. So you can see which direction the currencies have been moving, right? And we see here on the CAD index, for example, we've been moving down. And we know that's mainly been because the CAD has been subdued by the oil price moving to the downside. And you see it's been moving to the downside. But you can see here that we've kind of found a little bottom and we've got a little correction going on the CAD index. Okay, so you look at the CAD index is moving up. But then if you come in though, and you look at your crude price, okay, just how we marked it up, right? You can see that you got a recovery in the oil price back up, broke above that 76 level that we were looking at. So it took out this level and now it's continued to move up even further, right? And so when you go back and you look at the CAD index, right, you can kind of see that price on the CAD reacting, see, to the upside. See that? And you could draw your support and resistance levels and everything just like you do, right, on your regular currency pairs. But sometimes it's a good visual just to kind of separate things out. So if we look at like the Aussie, okay, look at the Aussie on the 4, okay, and how we've just been moving up. Now we're breaking and retesting that daily level. So if we go back out to the daily, you can see how the Aussie's just been moving to the upside. Okay. And the same thing, right, with your other currencies. So sometimes it just helps you out to kind of see what's going on. So we look at the euro. Okay, and you see it's moving up. Okay. Whereas when you look at the US dollar index, it's been moving to the downside. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, when I was going back through my notes, I'm like, I know we did in the very beginning of the group, which in June it'll be like 2 years. But I know we did some things like this in the beginning, but it's been a while since I covered it, right? So just another data point that you can look at. So you could create a whole workspace, right? So here I've got 8 workspaces, and then I can go through, right, and take a look and see what's going on, right? Okay, you can see how this is now right on this pound that's pulled back on this daily chart, past resistance becoming future support, right? So we see the decline, and then now, right, it's kind of just hovering there on the pound. So just another data point that you can add to your game in addition to like your technical summary that I talked about last couple of days. So you can see here on your New Zealand pairs, like you can see what's going on, right? USD JPY strong sell across the board, CAD yen strong sales across the board through the multiple time frames. Swiss yen. So yeah. So just a nugget there for everybody, in case you want to use that. All right. Any questions on that? All right, all right. So we just took a look at oil. We want to take a look at the S&P. Uh-oh, there we go. I know I got something going on funny here this morning, everybody. But here you go with the S&P, the continued move up. Right, we boxed out that breakout. Looked at this last night. You can see right how the market has just been rallying. Okay, so there you go on the SPY. Just take another quick look at that. Moving top side, nice rally ahead of the CPI. So let's see what happens. Right, Saturday morning, but you can see how, like we say, that in addition to your fibs and everything like that, that's all good, fine and dandy, good way to dress up that price action, but it's still price action support and resistance. It's still under recognizing price patterns, looking at ranges, looking at breakouts, and you can see that that's just a beautiful break and a retest of a zone. Okay, and you don't have to make right. You take the same approach. You don't have to make indices rocket science. Doesn't have to be right. It's nothing new under the sun, as they say, right? There's nothing new. If you come here and you look at how these all flow together, here's your US 30. Okay. It's the same type of price action. Right. You got a break in the retest of the zone. We just took out the high. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. This morning. Big day. Big day. So that's that. On those two, I want to take a look at your gold. Okay. And we know we've been rallying. Right? We've been focused on key levels, and that's all you can do. Market charts up and see which way price wants to go, up, down, or sideways. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. That's it. So we pushed, right? We didn't get caught in a range or anything here. We broke right through that 1878 level, and we're moving bullish ahead of CPI. Right? I am definitely right waiting to see what happens with the price action this morning, as it's been pretty explosive over the last few days with the market rally. So here it is on the one. It's just running. Look at that. Right? That's pretty unbelievable. Off that almost triple bottom. Look at that. Right? And you see how price kind of ranged, right? Just spend the time and look at your charts. Look at how we came down, right? And you can see like these levels right there in that range. And then once we broke out, it was gone. Right. See how we tried to break out before and we came right back down in the zone. And then once it got going, it got going. It got going. So let's take a look here, start running our fibs, finding that low. Okay, it's probably gonna be here. But you never know, right? You want to make sure you get it right. Yep, right to our low. And you can see how we got pushed down. That's a crazy correction. So we just come back to the next low, and this is on the 1 hour. Oops. I don't have a steady hand this morning, everybody. There, it's moving. Trying to catch this 1 hour. Lots of waves. This price action there. And there we go. Okay. The lower you move on the charts, the lower the time frame, right? The more waves you get, the choppier your price action gets. But you can see, look at that pullback to that level. Right. So let's see this morning if we get that D extension and beyond. Okay. If we get the print that everybody's anticipating, right? We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with gold. Okay. All right. Going into gold, still a lot of global demand fears. Price action has been moving to the upside for gold versus the dollar. You know that we got dollar weakness, gold strength. So Let's see. Let's see if it continues to get long after this morning. So that's where we are on gold. But the waves are just beautiful, right? Once you frame it out, this is definitely something to see. Okay. All right. Any questions on gold? No. All right. It's kind of where we stand, right? It's good to get that before the after to see what happens as a result, right? And if you journal, right, you could document, what happened during this latest CPI print, what happened to the markets, and why did it happen to the markets? Okay. Let's go back and take a look at, because I know we've been getting a move. This is going to be interesting as well, as we have been getting a market rally. I want to take a look at Bitcoin, because ever since I redid my charts, we know we had a huge crown from before, and we were tracking to the downside. But ever since I cleared out and redid everything because of the updates, I have not had a chance to take a look at it. And I know because we've gotten a rally in the market that we should have some sort of a rally, right, in your Bitcoin price, which you see that kind of peaking up a little bit there. So what I'm going to do is I want to mark this up. All right, everybody cool with that? Drop me a 1 in the chat. Okay, so let's do it. So we've got a monthly. I'm gonna put my daily, right? Setting up the workspace, same way. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what it is. Stock, crypto, foreign currency, same thing. 4 hour, put my 15-minute in, and I'm gonna put my 5. Okay. And you don't have to have all of these, right? This is what I like to do. I know we have traders that trade on different time frames. So I like to make sure we get all the charts in. So here we are on a monthly, extreme high, extreme low, right? Extreme high and extreme low. That's what we're looking for. Frame it out. Boom. There's that high. That low somewhere down, like so. Then we come in, put our support and resistance levels in. And the reason why we like to cover this so much is because we have newer members joining all the time. And it's just good repetition, good practice. It is the foundation of it all. If you can do this consistently, it'll take you a long way in learning and understanding price action. So there we go. And now I'm gonna, right within the same chart, I'm gonna drop down to my weekly. Oops, that's my daily. Go down to the weekly. Okay. Can you do it all within one chart? You can. You can. I just like to keep it all separated. There we go. And see here. Screen's a little jumpy this morning. Got a little bit of a delay. Not sure why. Okay. And I'll take this next level. Like so. And now I am going to link these levels that I marked up down to the lower time frames. Easy, easy. So here we go. Now, see what we have on the daily. It took that, right? We had another level up there. So I'm gonna mark that one as a weekly too, because it was coming in around the same zone. And then with our support levels, kind of the same thing. So I'm just gonna leave it alone. Don't want to put too many levels. Okay, I'll take this top side level here too. daily/weekly level, and we should be good there. So we come and right? See where we've just been sticky, right? So do we have a 38.2 pullback yet? Yes or no on the daily? Did I put the 4 hour up twice? Did I? Daily 4. Good catch. Yep. Appreciate you. Cool. There we go. Thank you so much for that. Right. But no, right? We do not, right? We've got a 236 pullback and then it just fell off. It just fell off. So we still haven't reached a 382. Okay. So what we're gonna do for a long-term target coming off this daily, you never know. You never know. It's crypto. We're gonna link that. And we're gonna take that down. And that's gonna be our daily 382. Just like that. So that's that target. We'll come down to the 4. Look at that, right? All right, that's some good price action there. It's a really good price action. Resistance. So we've got 4 hour up here. We'll take that level. We'll drop that in. So we'll link that down. And spot check support. We'll take this near term level, since we had us a retest there, and we'll link that down. So we've got a decent correction going here. All right. There's that daily 382. Let's come out to the top. It's just running off this high. Because here, I'll show you let me back up. Get a lot of this thing. If it'll let me. That's the first thing. So if you look here, you can see how you have a crown. Okay. You have a crown. Let me go right here. Okay. You see it better from here. Okay. See how price see how we took this low out here and we pushed down, and then we pressed back up. See, got shallow king's crown there, moving down. Okay. So eventually, right, we'll see what happens with these levels on this correction, but eventually, right, you can see price move even lower, okay, down to that 10,835 level. So we shall see what happens there. But right now, as we're trading this, you see we've got a correction to price. So if we take it right off this level and drop a fib on the 4 hour wave, you see you got an AB boundary and price is trying to move up. You see tight price action. So if we get a continued rally, if we break this level here, right, that 18,444 zone, and we break and retest, we can look for further moves up on Bitcoin possibly. Okay. And we will today, right? That CPI is going to affect this. When we look at it overall with Bitcoin, Oftentimes when you see the tech sector down or the tech sector take a hit, seems like Bitcoin is falling right in line with a similar price action with tech. We see that it reacts right during the same time, which kind of makes sense. So if we get a break, get price to hold, then we look for further moves up, okay, on Bitcoin. But if we can get through this zone, right? So if you didn't put the fib on, looking at that overall move and trend, we pull that fib off, then we can see that we've come right back to structure, has support, becoming future resistance. It tried it, tested it once here, came back down, and now we're right back up testing that level. So let's keep an eye on Bitcoin in the crypto space too. We got a nice little rally going. It's been subdued for quite some time. We finally broke out of that zone and moved up. So let's see if we can get a continued rally. All right, there we go. All right. Any questions on Bitcoin? Nope. Okay. So let's go through. Do we have any pairs, any particular pairs that they have their eyes on ahead of the CPI that we want to take a look at? We looked at the dollar pairs last night. We can take a look at them again. But are there any other pairs that you all have on your radar? Euro JPY. Okay. Euro JPY. So let's take a look at it. Let's go over and let's see what we've got going on with some of these yen crosses, right? So let's do this. Let's have fun with this thing. So we'll put in the, let's just go through it in order. Take a look at the JPY, right? Let me just see how it lines up. We'll have to take a look at them all on the charts, but we'll just look at these crosses. CAD, JPY, Euro JPY, GBP, JPY. We'll take a look at the, hold on, I'm trying to keep in that order. Take a look at the Swiss yen. Look at the Euro, JPY, GBP, JPY, NZD, JPY, and USD, JPY. Okay. Fascinating. So let's go through and take a look at it and see what's going on. So I know, right? Let's go through and take a look at the Euro JPY. Okay. So we've got a nice tail there, right? Nice wick from the weekly. Okay. Now this is the current fib, right? We know the euro shows some strength, and now we've been correcting to the downside. And we just broke this level, right? So we're moving down in this correction, right? We double topped here in this zone. So let me take this, let me pull this off and let's just look at the price action. So we've got a rejection here ahead of CPI, and we're moving down. We're moving down on this. Well, right? We may be coming down to this 382. So we've got some yen strength. Isn't that fascinating? Short. Oh, Michael. All right. 143.21, 143.21, 214 on the Swiss yen. Now, what's amazing is a lot of your pundits, right? When you read the reports, they're saying the yen is going to be a good buy this year. It's going to be a good buy, right? Mainly due to, what's going on with with some of the monetary policy changes that they are making, and then just the overall globally in the market, right? Especially if you get continued recession fears, right? That yen is that safe haven. So, right, we are coming down. That actually tapped that 1.618. So that just barely, right? So this is no longer activated, but you still kind of have that 80-20 type scenario there where we got a shallow retracement, just whipped that 1.618 and we're coming down. But just look at price action. So we have to say, hey, short right now, we're short in the near term. Okay. Maybe we come back down for a head and shoulders. Okay. Because look, we've got a decent neckline. This is a good one to study. This is a good one. Look at this. Okay. So got a decent neckline there. And then right here, to your left shoulder. Okay. Bang. 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 So we'll see what happens if we can get price to come back down to this 138 level. Okay, and this is off the 4. If it holds, right, we start to move back up, you got your head and shoulders, and the way you play that with a fib is like that. Boom. See. If it breaks that level, continues to push down, then that pattern is going to fail. So right now, right, we're correcting to the downside. Man, it's falling apart ahead of the data. Look at that. Right. So the way this would look when you're looking at patterns and pattern completions, right? You take your smart fib off. Okay, to get your right ratio like this. Yeah, we're steady moving to the downside, right? That's a monster. That's a monster there. Right? You've got all types of stuff going on, right? Just broke that trend line, broke your inner trend line a long time ago. Wow. Right? We've got that's your next level coming off this one. Got that. And these lower time frames here. So if we come down to the 15, right? They're pretty much a straight shot, but now you can see what is going on. Boom. So you can see here to the upside, we have the inner outer long-term trend line break. Now we're getting this monster correction. See if we took it out yet. Nope. Still moving deep. Oh, that's a pretty 15-minute 80-20. I haven't been on this euro yen. I've pretty much been off, just kind of monitoring charts all week because I know we're just waiting on the CPI data. But that's a beautiful 80-20 there. Everybody see that? Drop me a 2 in the chat. Plays out on all time frames. That's clean there. Okay. But you see how it's a confirmation, right? So how many different things that we notice on this, right? We notice that we got a double top. We know we've got a major level that price could be coming back to revisit for a potential head and shoulders. There's all types of things to study on this play. We've got a reversal, right? Which could serve to be the head of the head and shoulders, inner, outer, long-term trend line. We've got an 80-20 when we dress it up with the fib that's now correcting to the downside. And we're making these downward waves. So if, right, if, okay, you have continue to move price action to the downside and we get to that right shoulder, this A is going to be taken out, right? But you can see, this is a beautiful pair. You can see how this comes together. Everything comes together in one chart. Man, I have to say to this one. Right, so we're looking at, right, these are mini subs. So you kind of look at, what do we have? Do we, let me see. Right. And then we've got that ABCD correction to the downside on the wave, right? Large correction wave, right? Seems to be what's going on there when you talk about it. Could be wrong on that, but that's just what my eyes are seeing in regards to the Elliott wave. All right. Yeah, so there's a beautiful correction to the downside. So we're moving down. Okay. So with that in mind, if you're looking to play that downside move, knowing everything we've seen from the higher time frame, you can see here how price is making a correction. We're coming into an 80-20. So the question becomes, how impulsive does this move get come 8:30? You know, do we eventually make this correction? Right? Then move back down to the downside? Hard to tell. And so the most important thing to know, right, is that during times where you have huge economic reports and things like that coming out, there's no technical structure, right, or technical pattern that'll ever stand in the way of a strong fundamental current. So all of this can get blown up come 8:30, right? But it's been beautiful to see play out. All right. So that's where we are. So that's the Euro JPY. It is moving short right now, no doubt about it. That's where the price action is moving. It's to the downside, right, off the highs. Notice price action holding at 142.93, double top, and we got a nice reaction. So we're making down ABCs right now. You see the price action pattern too? Yep. Yep. Good job. Great work, everybody. So let's see. What else do we have? Got the Euro JPY, Aussie dollar, EU. Reese, I totally missed that note, man. My apologies. You wanted to see the fib from the bottom of what pair? Got you. Didn't say. All right. So let's take a look at, since we're looking at these yen crosses, we'll look at this this Swiss JPY real fast. BTC. Okay. I'll go back and take a look at that from the bottom up. Okay. Man, right? So we've already been moving down on this pair. Right? Look at that move down. Look at all these wicks, right? Just rejecting, right? So we're moving down now on the correction. So in the near term, hey, we could just drop our fibs in a downward direction. Here's our D extension on the daily. Oh, cool, right? A lot of people like that, man, especially if you're on the go, you can't get to the platform. Just listen in from there. It's all good. It's all, it's all good. That's why we did it. So good deal. I'll go back and take a look at it. Um, so here's your 1.618D extension for a downside target. Oh, your sound isn't working on Zoom. Okay. Check your version too. Make sure your version is updated. But I think I was able to give you control of your mic, so that I don't think that may not be the issue. Uh, double check that. There we go. So that's our daily 1.618D extension. So we can mark that as a downside target as we track these waves. Look at that. All right. So here there's an 80-20, and it's still moving down. This is nuts, insane. Okay. So let's, for the time being, we know that there was an 80-20. So let's just run it to the downside. There's that D extension. So we're coming in at a level there. Let me go back. So that D extension on the daily is coming in within the AB boundary. Right, like so. So this is still within the AB boundary. So oftentimes it'll come in below that lower time frame fib. So it's still within there. So we'll see what'll happen. So this is the daily. Eliminate this one now. And this is that daily. 618 D extension. Like so. Bam. So that I know that A boundary is right at weekly support. So I don't want to keep this cluttered up. Reset for that. I'll leave it on there for now. But we're moving down, right? Here's a 4-hour D extension. We're going to come into a daily D extension before that. So we can't be surprised if we see a reaction. And then look at this move straight down. Ahead of CPI. Just collapsed. Just collapsed. This will get taken out. Like that. And it's just a continued downside. So we have to come in and we have to make the adjustments to make sure that our charts are falling in line. That way we keep everything clean. Right? So this is perfect. You got a daily D extension falling in line with your 1-hour D extension. So price is most likely hit there. 618 extension. So you see how you got your overall trend, and then you have your short-term day trade type scenarios where you catch your reversals, right? Forming a low and move to the upside, opportunity, reversed, right? It's coming back down to the downside. But that's following what has been the overall trend on this Swiss yen. I know we haven't covered this very much, but, right? So there we go, right to the downside. Everybody see how that flows? Almost the exact TP you set. Perfect. Perfect. You were waiting on this and it completely took off. Which pair is that, AJ? This one or another pair?
It was this one.
All right, cool. Yeah, this thing is moving, eh? Look at that. My goodness. My goodness. That's beautiful price action there. So that's the Swiss yen. Let's go and take a look at if somebody wanted to take a look at the Aussie dollar and the Euro USD. So let's take a look at them. So we know we've been pushing long, right? We've broken above that level. Long, right? It's made a nice recovery against the dollar. The dollar's weakened. 4 hour, right? We're in the up retracement zone. Okay. So we're definitely hands off this one through the report this morning. Definitely hands off. So we've got an AB boundary, right? A B to C push. Let's see what happens as a result. It's kind of just moving sideways. Moving sideways. We need a catalyst, which will be that CPI report. And then we'll play it from there. Okay, but we know the Aussie's been strong, the dollar's been weak. It makes sense for it to be making up ABCDs. Okay, so we've got our fibs deployed in the right direction right now, and now we're just range bound. We need the price to break out. We need price to break out. So that's that on the Aussie dollar. We'll go back to the Swiss yen and reset. We've got a potential 80-20 on the 15. So you're running it off this high, just off this high, or you further up. I don't know what is going on with these charts. There. All right. There we go. So what we're talking about. Look, we've got a break of support. So we know, right? Price likes to break, right? Break a level and pull back. Okay. It could all be in jeopardy this morning here in an hour or so. But technically, you are spot on. You are spot on, Reese, with an 80-20 right here. Right. So you look at it, if we stay there, we break back above, we look at a 382 target, at least. Right. And so look, that's close to 90 pips, 61.8. Right, over 100 pips. Same thing over and over again. And we've been pretty impulsive. Look, fib after fib after fib. Right, we've just been hardly any type of check back at all because of the bears are completely in control. So when you don't get retracements, that just tells you who has control of the market, right? There's really no fight. A lot of downside pressure on that. Good eye on that one. 80-20 on the 15 for the Swiss yen. Let's see what happens after the CPI data. Let's take a look at this Euro USD. Still into that 107.89 zone that we've been focused on just ahead of the report. Right. So pretty much in the same area. Same area. Okay. Sitting pretty high on that correction. Okay. Like I said last night, right, was listening. I forget where the gentleman was from, which investment firm, but they were saying fair value for the euro versus the dollar, 112, 115 area, right? Somewhere within that range eventually. So they were looking for more upside pressure on that. Euro hawkishness, possible Fed hike of only 25 basis points versus 50 in February. And investors, right? We've been talking about that all week, are banking on the Fed slowing down, eventually pausing rates, and then cutting at the end of the year. Not all investors per se, right? And the Fed is pretty much at the opposite end of the spectrum on that right now. Okay, they need to see more consistent data that shows downside pressure on inflation. All right, so yeah, that's where we are on the Euro USD. Catalyst 830. We'll see what happens. That's where we are. That's where we are. Moving up, but we're stuck in the zone. You can see it's kind of moving sideways now. Breaks and closes above 107.89. Leads us to believe, hey, more bullishness ahead. Okay. You're welcome. You're welcome. Let's go back and take a look at that that Bitcoin and run that fib from the bottom up for Reese. And here we go. The one. Let's catch some lows. Oh, right here. That's where we are on your 1 hour. New AB boundary. Let's see what happens on the one. Is that the time frame you wanted on, Reese? I should have asked you that. Or you need a lower time frame or higher. Track you forgetting this delay. We'll take a look at the 4. It's a beautiful break and retest, by the way, everybody. That's clean. Right? That's clean there. Okay. And then there's things that you just learn and you pick up on, right? So technically, you got it on a 1 hour. Okay, cool. So technically, you don't have a swing low here. But then that's when your candlestick, right, senses have to kick in. Like, okay, here's past resistance becoming future support. I don't technically have a swing low until way up here, but I've got this huge bullish engulfing candlestick that just took out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 candles. 6 candles at that level, right? And that's a 4 hour candle. So I'm thinking I'm putting my stop above that low. If I'm just looking at price action, no fibs, past support, past resistance becoming future support. I've got a bullish engulfing candle right off this level, 17,319. I'm putting that stop below that bullish engulfing candle, and let's try to get long on that. Right? That's just a good price action setup there. Let me take this off this low. I don't know if I went. Yeah. So I was ready to load it up. Okay, off the 1. 236 correction. That's it. That's all you got. And now we're back up to that level. So that is it. I know we got through quite a bit. Just ahead of the report. Let me go back through the chat, see if there's anything else. Nope. All right. So we'll be posting this morning. We'll post some articles, things like that in the Discord once the market settles down, any new setups that occur as a result, right? This evening, we will not be having a session because, and we'll get the communication out, it's my wife's birthday and I want to stay out of the doghouse. So I think I should spend the evening celebrating my wife's birthday and spend some time off the charts. I like my home. It's a peaceful home, but I don't think it will be if I'm sitting up here tonight on the charts. So, and I'll be getting those ugly looks. So I wouldn't be able to focus too good anyway. So appreciate it. Appreciate it, everybody. All the birthday wishes. We'll pass those along. We'll pass those along. So that is it. but we'll definitely wrap things up, and we will be right back here, right? I hope you all see the power coming through this week, right, of the Forex weekly ritual on Saturday mornings. And I know, look, we all have busy lives on the weekends, so that's why we record everything. So if you can't make it on Saturdays, just hey, make sure you go and you take a look at the recording. Um, that those aren't ran on YouTube at all. Monday mindsets are not ran on YouTube at all. Those are things that we in the Discord, those are all things that are exclusive to you being members, right? Of the inner circles, the sessions running on YouTube, right? Those are just open air sessions for the convenience for people to be able to watch the videos, especially like Reese today who had issues, right? But there's no from YouTube, it's hard to get your questions and your questions and everything answered because you don't have access to the Zoom. So you can get into the nitty-gritty details of everything. So I appreciate everybody. Thanks for all the birthday wishes. You're welcome, JC. And thanks for being members of the inner circle. So we are going to shut it down. If you get a chance, hey, take a look at that CPI data. If you're around your charts, make sure you take a look at it. What's going on with the price action? And we will again post everything in the Discord, and we'll see everybody back 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Saturday morning, getting ready for another week. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you.